In this video, I'm going to show you how to add some cool effects to your text. I have an image of some water which will serve as a nice background to our text. Either select the horizontal text tool here or press T. Place your cursor in the image where you want the text to start and then type it in. When finished, click on the check mark. We now have a new text layer on top of our background. Now go to the Layer menu and select Layer Style. Here you have so many options for your text. I'll cover just some of the basic ones. Let's start with the blend modes. The default is normal, which means it doesn't change anything. You can only see the dissolve effect if you lower the opacity. The lower you go, the more intense the effect, which allows pixels from the lower layer to show through the current layer. In the darken mode, if the pixels on the current layer are lighter than those below, the lighter pixels become transparent. If the pixels on the layer are darker, they appear unchanged. Multiply darkens all of the colors where they mix together. Color burn darkens the layers underneath and burns them with color. You get an increase in contrast this way. Linear burn darkens the layers underneath by decreasing the brightness. It's very similar to multiply, but you tend to get more black in the effect. With darker, when you blend two layers, only the darker of the two colors will be visible. With the lighten blend mode, if the pixels on the layer are darker than those below, the darker pixels turn transparent. If the pixels on the layer are lighter, they appear unchanged. It's the opposite of darken. Screen lightens a layer where it mixes with the layer underneath and is the opposite of multiply. Color dodge lightens the pixels in the layers underneath and infuses them with colors from the top layer. Linear dodge lightens the layers underneath by increasing the brightness. It's just like the screen mode, but tends to show a lot more white. With lighter color, when blending two layers, the lighter of the two colors will be visible. Overlay multiplies the dark pixels in the top layer and screens the light pixels in the lower layers. It enhances the contrast and saturation of colors. Soft light darkens the dark pixels and lightens the light pixels. It's similar to overlay, but softer. Hard light multiplies the dark pixels and screens the light pixels. It's like shining a spotlight onto the image. With vivid light, if the pixels on the top layer are darker than 50% gray, colors will be darkened by increasing the contrast. If the pixels are lighter than 50% gray, the colors will be lightened by decreasing the contrast. It's a combination of color burn and color dodge. With linear light, if the pixels on the top layer are darker than 50% gray, colors are darkened by decreasing the brightness. If the pixels on the top are lighter than 50% gray, colors are lightened by increasing the brightness. It's a combination of linear burn and linear dodge. Pin light reduces the colors of pixels depending on the colors in the top layer. If the pixels are darker than 50% gray, pixels darker than those on the top layer are replaced and the lighter pixels aren't changed. If the pixels on the top layer are lighter than 50% gray, then those pixels on the top layer are replaced and the darker ones aren't changed. It's a combination of darken and lighten. Hard mix is similar to vivid light, but reduces the colors to only cyan, magenta, yellow, black, red, green, blue, and white. Difference produces an inverted effect according to the brightness values on the top layers. If the pixels on the top are black, the colors of the underlying layers aren't changed. But if the pixels on the top layer are white, the mode inverts the colors of the underlying layers. Exclusion is similar to difference, but with less contrast and saturation. Hue blends the brightness and saturation of the lower layers with the hue of the top layer.
Futuristic, futuristic, delivery. Step,